And Victor Smart Kings, welcome back to Napoleon to the War, the Great War mod France campaign playthrough. Yes, indeed, we are playing as France, and we have now, decided to march, first of all, march down south here towards Bavaria. We'll keep an army stationed here in... Actually, let's not keep an army stationed over here. Let's march it... Oh, wait, these guys are not very happy. Let's exempt them from taxation for now. Germany is going to be a little bit in a revolt. These two armies can march towards Bavaria. This army can march towards Innsbruck. And these two armies over here in Kassel can march towards Hanover. For a very swift takeover it's going to be, and these guys can also get exempt from taxation. And let's start recruiting some units over here. These guys are already recruiting, and we should recruit some units over here because the cavalry is very slow to replenish. It's replenishing very slowly, so we'll have to do some stuff to speed it up. The Russians haven't advanced on Warsaw or Danzig yet, but I suspect that something like that is coming very soon. The Russians are definitely on the offensive. It's kind of a shame that we can't really share map information over here, but let's check. Let's actually share some technologies with them, since they are... they demand some payment. That's completely fine, but at least our research is going to be a little bit mutual. We can already research trench warfare. No need to, though, not yet. Although trench warfare is actually going to be very useful because it allows us to get late infantry, I believe, or it allows us to get there we go, late infantry, or at least middle infantry, whatever you want to say. But let's start researching trench warfare so that we can upgrade our units. Our generals probably are going to look the same, to be completely honest. They will probably not look upgraded at all, but let's just start researching and we'll see how things develop. But for the time being, no reason why we shouldn't recruit a bunch of the infantry that we have access to. Kiev is receiving some reinforcements, which will help when we ultimately march on Berlin. Obviously, those reinforcements are going to be very useful. Russians taking their time with their turns, as they probably have a lot of armies that they have to move around. Maybe they're even engaging in some combat. The Germans also. Oh, there we go. We can actually very easily let's do a quick save and let's just auto resolve. There we go, victory. Crushed all the armies. I was going to have a little bit of a battle for Hanover, but look, we take these, okay? If the game offers up an easy victory, there we go. Hanover is ours. We had a massive battle at the beginning, and it seems like there isn't going to be one. We could have a massive battle for Berlin as well. Ooh, the Austrians actually are coming back to... They tried to pull a sneaky on us, tried to capture Stuttgart while I wasn't looking, but nevertheless... Let's go. Let's capture Bavaria. Very easy. There we go. Let's actually liberate Bavaria. We're not trying to... that's not... Is that a Bavarian flag? Is that a Bavarian flag? I think it might be. I don't know. Let's retreat with these guys back. And we can reinforce... Actually, since there... I saw an Austrian army over here. Though it might have retreated when we liberated Bavaria. But it's going to definitely shorten our... let's see, Bavaria. They are not at war with anyone. Not at war with anyone. So it's going to definitely be of benefit to us to shorten our front line here. We don't have to worry about the south. We don't have to worry about the Austrians suddenly marching up and, from behind and taking our holding from behind. We don't really have to worry about that since Bavaria is now liberated. Can we march through here? Yes, we can march through here. Now that opens up a whole lot of juicy prospects, but what I think we'll do is actually march on Prague over here. Since it's in the way, we'll take Prague and then we'll go for Saxony with these two armies. This army can take care of the Austrians that were trying to pull a sneaky move on us. and then they can join and march together on Prague, then Dresden, and we'll soon be eating sausages in Berlin. Yes. Okay, so the small Austrian army went on a raid over here on Heidelberg. Very sad to see them resort to such tactics, but this seems like it's going to be quite a chase. So what we might want to do is actually the army that's over here start bringing it down. Very simple as that. The cavalry over here is going to go into Oldenburg when these fellas over here. Yeah, what we can do is something like this. Then the army itself can move out of Oldenburg. The cavalry can move back in, and this army can start creating some. This army can be rejuvenated and be created anew. And what's next? These armies that are currently in Hanover, the northern push, I think, will go for Mecklenburg. We want to clean out. There's quite a lot of small German armies over here, so we'll see how things develop. But what I think we'll do is we'll sweep north through Mecklenburg and then maybe go on to Berlin. That's the obvious tactic to do. The Austro-Hungarians, are they at war with Bavaria? No, they are not at war with Bavaria. So, People's State of Bavaria. People's State of Bavaria. Now, that's quite a name. But this army can go back to Stuttgart very well. Maybe we can actually start taxing them. There we go. And these two armies can make their way towards the border with Prague. I think that's going to be the most useful. Let's see, is Serbia still at war? Yes, they are, but I don't see any action. Serbia hasn't fallen yet. All they've done is taken out Constantinople, which is it's actually called Constantinople in here. That's very cool. But they've taken out Constantinople. They've captured it. Romania, I think Romania should be at peace still. Yes, Romania is at peace with Austro-Hungary, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but they will come in very shortly into the war. This year, Italy is gonna obviously. Oh, they already are at war with the Austro-Hungarians, the Central Powers, so to say. Even though the Ottomans have been taken out. There we go. War declared. War have been declared between the nation, the Kingdom of Italy, German Empire. There we go. So the Italians just came into the war. And yeah, so obviously next target, we'll see what the Austro-Hungarian armies, quite a lot of them over here, so we'll see what they decide to do. But I think we might want to sweep up, go for Prague, and then go for Dresden. Maybe liberate Prague. Let's see if we could liberate Prague. That would be for the best, so that we don't have to actually hold the territory. I'm only interested in dismantling Germany. We don't actually have to capture the whole thing. But, well, it's a strategy. Anyway, let's see if it works out. Here we go. Here's an opportunity for a cool battle. Here we see Josias von Heringen coming up against two full-stack armies. For some reason, the balance scale isn't in our favor. They have some machine guns, some siege guns, so... yeah, let's go for a cheeky autosave, and let's go for a battle over here. Alright, here we are on the battlefield. Here you can see the machine guns that the Germans are pulling up, the Maxims. Let's actually see how good they are. And it seems like the Germans have upgraded from... No, these guys are still early. But it seems like the Germans have upgraded from the early uniforms into late uniforms quite a bit quicker than we have. We are still in the process of really using our technology to research, but this infantry over here is definitely later war infantry. They definitely don't have the Pickelhaube going as the Germans did in the early sections of the war. Mostly pushing here on this front, on this little portion of the land, but let's make it a little bit quicker. Let's get into position and let's start tearing these Germans up. We still have another army that's reinforcing, so hopefully this will be quick. and this unit of early infantry is definitely getting torn apart, but it's fine. Even if we lose a lot of dudes, it's fine. The enemy army is actually they do have quite a lot of chevrons, so they are actually very, oh, there we go, one of our units already broke. So let's, our guys are getting torn apart by artillery here in the center, but here on this flank we might have a little bit more luck. Aren't really having a lot of luck when it comes to the center or the right flank, but if we just hold them off, we'll win through the power of numbers, that's for sure. These guys are only territorial reservists. They have served us well in the early portion of the campaign, but even if we lose them now, that's completely fine. At least let's have a little bit of a tougher fight this time. You can see the enemy army is actually quite good. These later infantry quite a bit more resilient than the early infantry that we were going up against last time that we faced the Germans in the last battle. These guys are definitely cut out from a different sort of material. So might actually lose this battle. Now, wouldn't that be something if we actually lost this battle, got pushed back by the Germans? That would be, I think I'd actually welcome it. I wouldn't be too miffed about it or anything. It's good to have a little bit of challenge at least, and it seems like the Germans have definitely have the technological advantage on us when it comes to the units. Definitely they have some technological advantage when it comes to their units. They just have better units. I'm not entirely sure why my guys aren't able to shoot these final Alpine corps over here. It would be very cool if we could just finish them off and this flank would be finished off, but as you can see, everything is falling apart. And there we go, our entire army is in retreat. So let's retreat with these guys, let's retreat with the general, and let's just pack it up and go home, because this was definitely not a good one. The technological advantage that the Germans have really outdid us this time. Reinforcements, I don't really think so. Let's just quit the battle. Crushing defeat, yes indeed it was, and let's move on. Okay, so a crushing defeat. The Germans lost 3,000, we lost about 11,000. I think this is the first time we've actually had such a devastating defeat on this channel, but it doesn't matter. We will strike back. We definitely have reinforcements coming, so let's go and let's push the Germans back whence they came. There we go. Lots of epic battles around Hanover. Managed to kill their general. Not entirely sure why this time we managed to do so well. Maybe it's because we just overwhelmed them with the sheer amount of numbers. But ultimately we lost both of our generals over here. So we lost both of our generals over here. So let's actually start recruiting some generals which are going to do the job for us. And it seems like, yeah, there we go, we can actually recruit infantry, regular infantry. So the Germans had a slight technological advantage compared to us for about 5 seconds, but now can we actually upgrade these guys? No, we can't. So we might want to end up disbanding all of them. So I will begin the process of very gradually upgrading all of our units to the new standard of infantry. It seems like the Austrians are still using early infantry, so the push on Prague might still be on. But I will begin the process of very gradually upgrading all of my armies to the new infantry. The Germans had a very massive technological advantage in that last battle. As you saw, our units stood absolutely no chance against the Germans in a straight up fight. And yeah, but this was the German army that was protecting Berlin. So now that we have dealt with them, yeah, we'll begin the process of upgrading our units, and we might actually begin the advance on Mecklenburg and then Berlin. But due to the setback that we just suffered, you can see heroic death, due to the setbacks that we suffered, we will have to postpone it at least one part. So there we go, Kings. Sometimes you just gotta take the defeats, you gotta take the victories when you can, because you never know when the defeats are coming. The Germans, even though half of their country has been occupied, still mounted quite a decent comeback, pushed me back, delayed me, gives them more time to recuperate their own forces. But we will be back, and we will be eating sausages in Berlin in no time. So anyway, thanks, Kings, for watching, and I will see you next time.